Yo, good morning or afternoon. It's 10:31 here in Minnesota. Um, Today I felt it in my heart to do a Facebook post, so I'm gonna be honest with you. About 3 months ago, I was doing a consistent video every day, goal of mine, and some things happened in my life. I came back from an Abraham Hicks conference. Smells, eating all I can at the hotel, pizza. I feel like before I came home and relapsed, I had given up at the Abraham Hicks. And now there was a variable at play. I broke my shoulder about a month before that, and I was strong for a while, you know? I was committed for a while. Things started really getting to me. And I started to let this energy outside of me fuck with my mind, fuck with my head. I started thinking a little bit differently. I started eating a lot. And and the smells of the hotel reminded me of time when I was in Vegas and I was doing a lot of cocaine. And cocaine, heroin, meth, it's all the death of me. Where I'm going, for me personally, I can't dwindle. I can't drink. I can't do that stuff. I'm trying to be a pure vessel of mind, body, health, spirituality, mindfulness. Not necessarily perfection, but I'm trying to get the most out of this human vehicle, and it's what makes me feel most alive, to be honest with you. But sometimes I let things start to get into my head and I crash hard. I crashed. Anyways, long story short, there was a few times where I was on cocaine and I was still doing the videos, and I was trying everything I could to be committed to these videos. And I was very active on social media and Facebook and making it such a big deal. And I was depending my happiness upon my likes and views, and the motivation wasn't resonating with my pure spirit. I felt like I was covering some things up in my life, past trauma, fears, problems, issues, that I was masking to seek approval. It's ironic how I was stating those who have the most approval, they desire the least of it. But the people that want it the most get the less of it. That might have been confusing because of how I worded it, but basically, the more approval that we strive for, the less we get, and the less approval that we strive for, the more we get. And even though I was making that evident that was the case, it was almost as if I was still not applying the information and applying the knowledge. I understood it, but I wasn't really applying it. And I still was basing my happiness off of the approval, like, oh, he's actually doing something. And you know what I realized? I made a connection to when I was younger. My mother always was videotaping me, and I never had much attention. I was an only child with a mother. They were always strung out on drugs. Not that that's a big problem or whatever, but I needed attention. I needed attention to make me feel worthy, because I lost a lot growing up, and it never really clicked why. I'll get into that stuff in another later video, when my time is ready. I'll share some of the stories with you. But I was humiliated on social media. I relapsed, and that's something that is completely against my belief systems and value systems. I'm trying to optimize this human vessel that I'm in and share my experiences with my loved ones and be a catalyst for love and heightening and raising awareness to our ability to tap into consciousness and how able we are to create our reality. Some people think it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and that's okay right now. That's okay right now, because people like me, I crash, I do stumble, I do lose sometimes, and I'm not perfect. And I can't believe that sometimes I strive for perfection, and I really let it get to me when I crack. But I'm mastering balance, and I still don't need to crack. But anyways, I humiliated myself, right? And about 4 or 5 videos, I was half on coke, waiting to do my next fist and running through the videos, and then what had happened is one of my friends from work had locked my phone, like messing with it, and temporarily locked it. And so I was without a phone for 2 days. And it hit me. It hit me that I need to not only clean up my life, but I needed to rip myself from all social media platforms and stop not begging, not asking, but stop basing my worthiness off of approval and likes, and trying to show everybody that I'm so worthy and I'm doing this thing and I have all these goals set, and I was basing that off my happiness, and I took it as a sign. I know I was getting addicted. I was waking up in the middle of the night frantically checking my Facebook. I was frantically checking my Instagram and frantically, and I just want to put out a positive message, not put out something to find approval in it. There was something disconnected within my soul that wasn't making me feel empowered. It almost was making me reach for more peanut butter. It's turning into a longer video than I thought, but I'm being honest, and I felt like I had to share it with you. So I ripped off a lot of that stuff, and I've been really building something that I could take with me for the long run, for the long course, building an empire, building a base, and having courage to do things a bit differently and not seek approval. Today, it's been 3 months since I've been off of all social media platforms. I've still been active on my blog and trying to build my blog, but without need for activity, and which is good for me. Today I realized that I just kind of disappeared off Facebook and disappeared off Instagram without telling anybody not necessarily what happened, that I'm okay at least, and that I'm going to be parting ways. A lot of them I've built a lot of great relationships with, and I felt that I needed to tell them that I was okay. And when I come back, I'm excited to be active again. I didn't tell them that I'm working on anything. I didn't tell them anything. I just told them that I loved them, and that I'm all right, and that I hope that they're doing okay and doing great things as well. Now I'm here in my car sharing that with you, and I was humiliated, I guess, just identifying my imperfections. And as I speak, I'm actually getting hit with many waves, not of insight, but of just realizations. Where's my pen? I don't know, man. Not all days are gonna be great, but today is a good day. But these touchy days, and when you feel like you have some expressing to do, you have some I have confessions to make. Confessions. My face is weird. Face is red. I want to help the masses, but before I can appropriately feed the world, I need to learn how to feed myself. Learn how to live without anything. Learn how to just be. Silence the mind, the need for approval. Rip identifications. And it's been good so far. The world means so much to me. And this awakening that we're in, this is a beautiful time to be alive right now. People are becoming more familiar with themselves and beginning to question their life and life in general, the meaning. Before I can be a catalyst of love and do things from source, I gotta learn how to take care of my own shit and be okay with being humiliated and vulnerable. Which I'm gonna do. Work on the keys of manifestation. Work on manifesting. Work on creating and silencing the mind and understanding that of all variables, the one that means the most is us. You know? Michael Jackson said, if you want to change the world, start with yourself. That was my pen. But so true. Soul P. Home G. Bringing myself back to source. Long video, but it's so meaningful to me. Usually, yeah, I don't know, man. It felt good to share it with somebody for now, and I've been talking to my family about it and a couple close friends. But I can't go and brag about it either. I don't try to brag about it, but it might seem like I'm bragging about it just speaking of it. But it's all part of the personal transformation, you know? Anyways, it's your boy, TSPG, Tom Soul Physique, Home G, bringing it closer to source. I like that out. Alright, guys, have a great day.